Mountains, Mozart, Arnold, The Sound of Music, Wiener Schnitzel, not to be confused with Australia. People think of many things when somebody mentions the beautiful country of Austria, nestled in the idyllic Alps and, at first glance, doesn't have much of a reputation when it comes to heavy metal. And yet, there have been quite a few bands from the Austrian metal scene that have made a name for themselves both nationally and internationally throughout the many years heavy music has existed. So, let's take a look at them. Austria's heavy metal history may not be as internationally recognized as that of its neighbors, but the country has cultivated a diverse and passionate scene since the 1980s. Rooted in Vienna, Graz, and Innsbruck, the early Austrian metal movement drew inspiration from both the traditional heavy metal of Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and the emerging extreme sounds from Germany and Scandinavia. One of the earliest Austrian metal exports was Speed Limit, blending hard rock and melodic heavy metal. The band formed in 1984, disbanded in 1994, but reformed in 2008 and still play to this day. Their EP Prophecy from 1988 garnered wide attention, and the single Lady charted in 7 countries across Europe, and the music video was aired internationally. A jury of the Austrian youth magazine Rennbahn Express, which included Gene Simmons of Kiss and Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, named Speed Limit Best Austrian Metal Act in 1989. I'd recommend this band to anyone who enjoys some good old classic heavy metal. Now, the Austrian underground gravitated towards more aggressive acts, especially from the budding death metal scene. And Pungent Stench is probably the most prominent band to rise out of the late 80s. They quickly became a cult favorite in the death metal and grindcore worlds, with their provocative imagery and lyrics pushing boundaries and sparking controversy. The title track of their 1990 debut album, For God Your Soul, For Me Your Flesh, made it on the top 100 best death metal songs list compiled by the German version of Metal Hammer magazine. The band has split up and reformed several times and are currently still touring. Other notable death metal bands from Austria are Hollenthon. They play melodic death with some symphonic elements. Cadaverous Condition, who play straight death metal one song and acoustic folk another song. Disharmonic Orchestra, who do death and grindcore. And Thirdmoon, who bring melodic death with a lot of melancholy and excellent riffs. Out of the black metal scene in the 90s, it was Abigor, named for an upper demon of war in Christian demonology, that stood out with their intricate and atmospheric sound and set them apart from the Norwegian wave, and they remain a household name from the European black metal scene. I would 100% recommend their second album Nachthimmel from the Twilight Kingdom from 1995. If you're a black metal fan, this album has everything there is to enjoy about that genre and can absolutely be considered a classic. Belphegor, also named after a demon, is probably the biggest extreme metal band to come out of Austria and blends black and death metal seamlessly. So if that's your jam, they're definitely one of the best bands in that genre, going strong since 1993 and bring a massive bloodthirsty soundscape to your ears. Hollenthon was another black metal band from that scene and was known for its avant-garde approach and their use of medieval-sounding keyboards and some dreamy and ambient parts combined with typical blast beats and high screams, and that was considered very innovative at the time. Give their debut album The Art of Dreaming a spin. Another one to check out from Austria's underground black metal scene is Asmodeus, active since 1996 and made a big enough name for themselves that they got to tour with bands like Satyricon, Behemoth and Belphegor. Summoning is an atmospheric black metal band and is definitely one for the fantasy nerds among us. Hi, it's me, I'm Fantasy Nerds. Because all their lyrics make extensive use of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth writings and mythology. Their latest album from 2018, With Doom We Come, is inspired by the March of the Ents on Isengard. The band has never once played live and they maintain they have no intention of ever doing so. So if you like both Tolkien and black metal, now you can do both at the same time. There you go. Tristwood play industrial black metal, which makes for a deep, dark, and truly heavy sound. So worth a listen if you want to feel like you're being swallowed by a black hole. And finally, in the black metal department, we have Harakiri For The Sky, more described as post-black metal and post-hardcore. They formed in 2011 and have since released 8 studio albums and have collaborated with numerous other bands in the post-black scene, including Heritor and Alcest. I was already a big fan of Alcest, so this band is ticking all the right boxes for me. Now, the symphonic and power metal scenes of Austria have also produced a number of respectable bands, and probably the best known one is Visions of Atlantis. They formed in 2000 and were inspired by iconic symphonic band Nightwish and the Legend of Atlantis. In all those years, the band has seen quite a lot of lineup changes, but their music is solid and well made, and well, if you like symphonic metal and Nightwish, this is a band for you. One of the OGs of Austrian symphonic bands is Edenbridge, formed in 1998 and have since released 11 studio albums. Carried by strong melodies and Sabine Edelbacher's amazing voice, they're a band to give a listen if you're in the mood for more symphonic. Dragony brings a perfect blend of power metal and symphonic elements and have been going strong since 2007. Nothing groundbreaking, but just fun, good melodies, corny but in a good way because they don't take themselves too seriously, but they do take their craft seriously. Exactly what you want from power metal. And one interesting person who seems to be carrying a lot of Austria's power metal scene on his shoulders is Georg Neuhauser, vocalist for both Serenity and Warkings. And both bands have a running theme of history in their music, since Dr. Neuhauser also teaches history, and specifically war history and economic and mining history at the University of Innsbruck. If you happen to be looking for some doom metal from Austria, Our Survival Depends on Us has got you covered. Words like dark and hypnotic are probably a bit overused to describe doom metal, but this band does everything right. Surely worth a listen. Now when it comes to metalcore, The Sorrow was one of the biggest bands in that genre to come out of Austria. They released 4 studio albums between 2005 and 2017 and can be described as a mix of In Flames, Killswitch Engage and Caliban. Great and seriously underrated metalcore band, and honestly sad they're not around any longer. Sympathy For Nothing is another metalcore band with a little bit of mellow death sprinkled in, and were a bit of a name in the early 2000s and 2010s, but I haven't found much from them from after 2018, so no idea what they're up to these days, but still a decent band to check out. Roadwolf is a band that's doing justice to the new wave of traditional heavy metal. Fun, no-nonsense heavy metal and hard rock in the style of Judas Priest, Saxon, UFO, Dio and Ozzy Osbourne. Do give their albums Unchain the Wolf and Midnight Lightning a spin. You will immediately feel like you're cruising along a dark road somewhere in the 80s. And last but not least, Kontrust is a silly metal band. Silly Austrian metal, I suppose. They take elements of nu metal, folk, dance and pop and a lot of humor and do their thing with it. Bringing Lederhosen to their show is optional but greatly encouraged. And there we go. Despite not really being known for having a thriving metal scene, there is a lot of good music coming out of Austria. I can never include every band from a country in these videos, so if I missed one you think people should be checking out, do let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video and got to know some new bands to check out. That's gonna do it for me. I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, stay kind to yourself and to each other, and I will see you soon. Bye.